I needed this. The people demanded it. And now, it's finally here.
Mankind is dead. Blood is fueled. Hell is full.
Oh, yes!
Jesus Christ.
Back when Kat and I started dating, I got her into gaming. I started her off with easier games that were mostly story focused and single player, but she soon showed interest in other games I was playing. She branched out to multiplayer co-op by killing monsters in Monster Hunter World, and then expanded into killing monsters inside of Elden Ring.
Nice Sheba, nice Sheba.
But there was one game in particular that piqued her interest. After seeing me spear cowboys with shovels for sport, and kill monsters, she decided that she actually wanted to try Hunt Showdown. Also just bear with me, this is all coming back to Ultrakill. Hunt being Hunt, she died. A lot. We all did.
First time.
But she also got her first kill. That first taste of blood. And she was instantly hooked. There was no other game that provided such a rush, such a hit of dopamine. The problem was she never really played FPS games before, so she was really struggling to learn the mechanics, especially with how unforgiving Hunt is. If you die, you get sent back to the lobby. She needed to learn movement, game sense, aiming, leading targets, prioritizing targets, using all of her tools, etc, etc. I was trying to think of a short, single-player game that isn't too punishing, but also teaches you movement, weapon swapping, tracking aim, flicking aim, projectile and hit scanning. If possible, restarting should also be as quick and as painless as possible. Well, turns out Ultrakill has all of these qualities in spades, and now all I had to do was convince her to try it.
Is this little baby right here. It's called cocaine. Right. It will keep you sharp between the ears. It'll also help your fingers dial faster. And guess what? That's good for me.
During one Steam sale, I bought the game for her along with a few others, and I told her the game would make her better at Hunt. And there were monsters to kill. And I also mentioned there's a dating sim level. The seed of curiosity had been planted, and now I just had to let it grow. Eventually, after a few weeks, she decided to give it a go, on the condition that I watch her play all the way through. Since she has next to no FPS experience, I knew that standard difficulty would be too hard for her, especially when she reached Gabriel, and I really wanted to avoid putting her in a car heading straight for a brick wall. I also knew that Harmless would be too easy to force her to learn the game's mechanics, so I settled on lenient difficulty and sent her on her way. The game seemingly throws you into the deep end right from the first encounter, but since the fills aren't too dangerous, the game was gently getting her into the mindset of always moving.
Możesz se dešat sa shiftom.
Zar sam zaglavila u ćošku. Baš šta?
Jer držiš se.
Jesus Christ, babe. I'm so embarrassed.
Well, she's a bit confused, but she's got the spirit, right? Kat was already learning how to move and aim simultaneously, and she was only in the first room.
Punch them.
Isuse, da.
Yes. Možeš chargeat na desni klik. To.
Next, the game taught her about breaking glass panels. a lesson she quickly applied. Well, I mean, hey, they're all dead, right? The second time around she was way more careful to aim high and to rely more on melee to avoid falling again, for the most part. Old habits die hard, huh? Pretty soon after, she got her first taste of parrying. She actually picked it up before the tutorial for it. Her timing needed a little refining. There. That's a little better. Moving on, she punched Maurice's teeth in on her first try. While the fight may have lacked grace, she was already managing her health well. She would move in close when she needed to heal, and she'd constantly move around, throwing off most of his attacks. During the next level, she started experimenting with the legendary marksman revolver. She quickly picked up on the fact that coins inherit your velocity, so her strategy for getting coins was either standing completely still or moving in one direction unflinchingly. She got into the habit of mostly throwing coins directly above her, as that made them easier to hit and saved them from hidden walls. She might not understand why coins explode, but she understood that she needed more. Immediately after, she committed to the ballsiest slide I've ever seen someone new pull off in this level. She was eager to find out more about that yellow robot, so she quickly hopped over to the next level. Swords Machine seemed intimidating at first because of its large health pool and aggressive attacks, but proved to be a complete pushover for her. Nice parry, by the way. Her biggest issue was trying to keep track of it during its combos. After stealing Swords Machine's lunch money, she bought herself a shotgun and was itching to test it out. The stopping power of the shotgun, coupled with the larger spread and the grenade launcher, made it her instant favorite weapon, but I'd be remiss if I didn't show her the best part. Projectile boost. Projectile boost. Projectile boost. Projectile boost. Projectile boost. Projectile boost. It was time for round 2 against Swords Machine, and the odds were not in its favor. Beautiful finish by Cat. And disrespect for good measure. For the next level, I started her off with the overpump shotgun, which she quickly overpumped. Okay, take 2. Applying a gentler stroking motion, Cat was able to avoid ending her fun too soon. I said gentler!
This is Serbia, Morty. The craziest place in the universe. Serbians. You never know what you're gonna get with them. They are only good at one thing. Basketball. Basketball, Morty. Centuries of fighting created a race of angry giants.
Applying all of her newly learned skills, she was finally able to break through Serbia and into the game proper. Before heading into Limbo, she had to do the first secret level. Well, actually, she did finish it, but after dying 2 to 3 times to something wicked, it stopped being scary and it was only annoying. Only the frustration of navigating a pitch-black map remained. Moving on to Limbo, Cat was really surprised by the tonal whiplash coming from Prelude. She did like touching grass though. The new drone enemies didn't faze her much. In fact, they fazed her so little she ate every single one. Right here is when I noticed something she would often do when overwhelmed. I dubbed it the race car strategy. She would only go forward and use the mouse to steer, all the while pumping out damage. For now, it was hard for her to change directions when thinking about so many things, so she simplified it. Her initial experience with the nail gun was somewhat underwhelming, after which she barely used it for a while. I'll chalk it up to two things. This was still her first play session, she was getting tired and overwhelmed. And secondly, nail gun magnets are initially, well, simply not flashy as coins and projectile boosts. Don't worry though, she'll start using it again later. There, that's the last you'll see of the nail gun for the entire lair. So, I was editing this and I noticed this drone fly in and kamikaze his friend. I checked it earlier in the footage and figured out it was this drone that she blew out of the skylight with the shotgun. Perfectly calculated. And of course, she ate the last one. Arriving in 1-3, Kat was able to hear what Mozart would have sounded like if he was a good pianist. Racing down the blue route first, Kat was able to clear out all of her enemies without much trouble. But she did have some problems falling into lava. I hope that doesn't become a recurring problem. Nice wall bounce into dunk, babe. She was even able to shotgun swap to finish off this Serb. Unfortunately, she only remembered to use this tech when I reminded her. The blue route was relatively easy for her, but I wanted her to try the red one as well. Things started off well, but crawled to a halt in this room. A sign of things to come. It was really easy to fall off in this room, and it wasn't as easy to get out once you fell in. Even parries landed her in hot water. She wasn't the only one with this problem though. Because of this, she was playing overly slowly and cautiously, meaning she wasn't regaining any health. And after a few demoralizing attempts, she decided she wanted to give up on this route. Her final obstacle in this level was the abominable Chungus. Its attacks have a large area of effect, so she had trouble dodging them at first, especially the mortar orbs. After a few attempts, she was able to finish it off with a nice coin shot. Finally, she reached 1-4, her last level for the night. She took her time to take in the atmosphere and read a book. She fucking loves books. She was expecting something to jump out at her, but she wasn't expecting V2 exactly. I find it funny how her first instinct is to beat the shit out of him. She had trouble keeping up with him initially, but she got a lot better at tracking enemies since starting the game. And then, she used her final attack. Shifting things into 5th gear, baby! She took his arm. Can't have shit in Limbo. After the level, I showed her how to unlock the slab revolver, because she's my little princess and she deserves all the guns. Last stop before last was the secret level.
Babe. Pogledaj sad dolje. Klikni. You finally touched some guys.
Žao mi je da nema achievement za to. Baš sam razočarana.
She was blazing through the level right off the bat.
Bravo. You're good at this.
She likes puzzles.
I like puzzles.
Možda zato što si jako blizak.
I should have made her do these with 3D glasses.
Oh boy.
No, it's got colors.
Da. Jesam. Ne, pa točno
Dobro,
sam.
dobro, sam si kliknula jedan
Da.
predaleko.
Sad si ne sjećam šta sam napravila.
Oh shit!
Zdravo. Ultralore. Pouk.
Bol.
Ti je bio dobar level.
Da.
Da?
Da.
Ja, misliš?
Lust started off with Kat's favorite part of Ultrakill. First-person platforming. Lots and lots of first-person platforming. She was not the only one having trouble in this layer. Ah yes, more platforming. She developed PTSD.
It's your favorite level?
I like to have shaped lake. Full. It's beautiful.
She hadn't played in a bit, so she had to relearn her weapons.
Od svih oružja izaberem ono koje me najviše sjeda.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Da mogu samo tu skočiti do sigrata.
Secret jumpscare.
Pa dobro mi je prošlo.
It was finally time to meet probably the most infamous Ultrakill enemy.
Behold, the mind player.
Zašto? Koštalo bi Hakitu 0 kuna, samo ga ne staviti na to.
There you go.
O,
First try.
ovo je bilo okej.
I'd say she did great for her first try. Unfortunately for her, she had to deal with another, but this time with enemies in tow.
Teleportirala sam me.
She was playing some cyber grind the other day and she learned how to do this.
Yes.
To sam htjela.
She's dead.
To.
There you go.
Zaboravim da se zabio mene.
Nice.
Mora da sam oboje srenkala barem.
Umrla.
Are you spooked out? Bad touch.
Why is it always fingers?
Projectile boost. Projectile boost.
Da mogu i njega perijat?
Ne.
Vidi.
Imaš rail.
Shit, da.
Fuck him up.
Opa. Nema veze.
She saw me parrying Minos and really wanted to land one for herself.
Do it. Too soon. Too soon.
Tu su.
Perry.
Tu su.
Perry.
Ovo je bilo dosta komično.
Perry.
Aj, punch coins. Je ovo bio Perry? Hey! This is game too hard.
Okay. Eventually, this happened. Yes!
Ovo je bio tako power move.
Perry. Oh.
O,
Stanala si ga. Tuci ga. Tuci ga.
Da?
Projectile boost. Projectile boost. My little goblin.
This was fucking great.
Once again, time to take a detour before the next layer.
Ow, ouch. These things.
Fidget nervously and sweat.
Fidget nervously, definitivno.
By a vibrating fountain. To smile. Znaš da se ovaj level speedruna?
But babe, you can't speedrun love.
A moram joj pomoć. Jako je zgodno u ovoj odori.
Ću te nacrtati u thumbnailu ko nju.
Da.
A da ja budem V1.
Može.
She was getting pretty invested.
Strangers to lovers trope može. No fighting crying over spilled blood. Misliš da u ovoj apokalipsi ima samo jedan krevet, a njih je dvoje? Dobro.
Kako postaje siva pozadina.
Da. Ali ono ostaje jednako bright.
Galaxy Brain.
Ova žarulja u glavi baš radi. A Kitty nije dobro.
Is this a cry for help?
It really is.
Ja mislim da je cry for help bio kad je odlučio V1 učiniti ženskom i staviti ju u ovaj outfit.
Cry for booty.
Cry for booty.
Wow. A kako slatko. Well, I'll be damned. Go to the hotel. Go to a hotel.
Enemies to lovers.
Nije way out of his leg. We won matters.
This was easily her favorite level in the entire game. As for Gluttony, there's not much to be said for 3-1. Other than Cat added jumping to her race car strat to get some more survivability. She also managed to hit this sick clip. She even managed to parry a mind flare, but to be honest, I don't think she noticed. Now, it's finally time to move on to the main event.
Ja se moram sjetiti kako.
You're being very brave with all this platforming.
Tako sam postresala. Okay, I got this.
Did Johnny throw you off?
A ne, malo sam prerano ovo izvadila. Ne želim pokazati sve svoje adute odmah.
Your choice is made. There you go. Now you need to slide.
Okay.
The music, please. Things may be hard, but I'm harder. No, that's not right either. Hang on.
Well, long story short, Cat got her shit rocked. She hadn't used sliding or dashing much in her playthrough, and Gabe was the first enemy that forced her to start learning the dance. She gave it a good 30-ish attempts before rage quitting. The stress and exhaustion got to her. I was trying to be helpful, but I was only tilting her more and more until she broke. It was not pretty. We like to joke around that was the only fight we ever had in our relationship, and that's not actually far from the truth. What, were you expecting some footage? What psycho would think in that moment, ah yes, I should clip this shit? Anyways, I was really afraid that she would just quit the game for good right there. Over the next few days, she was secretly practicing the fight while I was at work. One day, she asked me to watch again. Gabe was too fast to track, so she got in the habit of sliding or dashing whenever he made a sudden movement or teleported.
He is fast. He is fast.
Imaš crvenu šaku.
Ne, fulala sam. Is this duego?
Platforming je najteži dio Gabeovog fighta.
Tako je.
I ovo fucking oko u sredini.
Neironično.
Te lansira posvuda.
Ti si.
Ti treba lokon.
Da.
A ti?
To bi full poboljšalo ovu igru.
You can actually lock on in this game.
Šta da?
Tipa evo staviš ga na 50. Probaj sad igra. Viš da ti igra cilja za tebe.
Isuse, da. Znaš šta, nije to ni tako loše.
Prvo sam pucat na njega. Vidiš kak drži. Ja, ali može biti još jače od toga.
Daj probaj staviti 100%, imamo kako je.
Full screen.
Full screen. Aaaa, kako fora.
Shoot him. Babe, if you die with an aimbot, I swear.
A da. A samo ga isprobava.
Ti ovak draže igra.
Ne, grozno je.
Gun iza glave.
Da! Gle, odvoji se od mene.
Unovčić, ja.
A,
How did you miss?
a pulala sam ga s aimbotom.
Ovo je Certified Armored Core moment. Misliš da ga imaš u lokonu i sam te preskoči. Nemaš cooldown.
Mislim da sam
Sad imaš.
A sada?
Ubila si sebe. Imaš green rail. Bravo. You missed.
Ne,
Heartbreaking.
ne. Okej, healala sam se nešto.
Nemaš ga još. Reći ti ja.
Ne. A dobro je.
Dobro je, svaka
Nije ono
čast.
da sam bila na rubu, nego mi još malo.
It was also during this fight that she discovered her true love,
Nice.
the screwdriver railgun.
Fuck him
I
up.
to druga faza?
Da.
Gdje sam ga?
Crvena ruka. Imaš green rail.
Ne,
You
pula
missed.
sam ga.
You got this, I believe.
Every single fight was a slight improvement upon the last, until
Ne.
eventually
One more. Coin. Oh, yes! You did it, baby. Nice work.
Thanks, babe.
May your woes be many,
And
your
your
bitches
bitches
few.
few.